Why was the Guanyin Temple burnt down? What was the Kasaya that the monsters were after? Who is this big-headed fellow we fight? Hi guys, this is Gray from China. In this video, I want to talk about the story from Journey to the West to help you understand the backstory of Black Myth Wukong Chapter 1. If you finished Chapter 1 of the game but couldn't quite figure out what the story was about, this video should help. So the story actually took place in Chapter 16 of Journey to the West. At that point, Tang Sanzang had just started his journey and was only accompanied by Sun Wukong and Bai Long Ma, the white dragon horse. They came across a grand temple called the Guanyin Temple. From the name, you could tell it was dedicated to Guanyin. When they entered the temple, they met an elder who was 270 years old. This elder was named Elder Jinchi, and yes, he is the boss of the Ancient Guanyin Temple in the game. After sitting down, Tang Sanzang noticed that the temple was filled with treasures. Even the tea sets were made of expensive porcelain. This hints that Elder Jinchi, despite being a monk, still hadn't let go of his greed as he should have. Driven by a sense of competition, Elder Jinchi asked Tang Sanzang, "Since you're from the wealthy Tang Empire, you must have brought many treasures with you." Tang Sanzang, ever humble, replied that, as a monk, he lived a simple life and didn't have any treasures. Tang Sanzang's humbleness, however, got Wukong a little upset. So it was important to note that Wukong was still early in his journey and hadn't fully matured mentally. He still had some childish competitive mindset. Wanting to show off, Wukong pulled out Tang Sanzang's prized possession, the Kasaya. This Kasaya was a gift from Guanyin, radiated divine brilliance, and possessed magical powers. It was so magnificent that even Elder Jinchi, who had collected hundreds of Kasayas in the temple, was mesmerized. This is also reflected in the game.
270 years spent. Kasayas collected by the hundreds. Still one choked without his throne.
After being captivated by the beauty of the Kasaya, Elder Jinchi begged Tang Sanzang to let him take it to his room to admire it for the night, promising to return it in the morning. Although Tang Sanzang really didn't want to, Wukong said yes immediately out of pride. In the middle of the night, as Elder Jinchi was gazing at Tang Sanzang's splendid Kasaya, his envy grew so strong that he began to cry. Elder Jinchi had two disciples by his side, Guangzhi and Guangmou. Yes, they are the wolf guy and the snake guy we encounter early in the game, and at that point in the story, they were portrayed simply as human monks. Guangzhi suggested, if we kill him, this precious Kasaya will be ours. Elder Jinchi responded, "We are monks, our teachings forbid us from killing." But Guangmou added, "We can set a fire in the temple. If the fire accidentally kills them, we can still claim that they died in an accident, not by our hand." Revealing his hypocrisy and greed, Elder Jinchi finally agreed to Guangmou's plan. He ordered the room of Tang Sanzang to be locked and then set a fire in the temple. However, every action in the temple didn't escape Wukong's sharp senses. Wukong, turning into a little bee, saw everything the monks were plotting. If it had been the Wukong from earlier in the story, he would have used his staff to bash the bad monks to death. But he had recently promised Tang Sanzang not to use violence to solve problems. So he thought of another way. He flew up to the heavens and found Guangmou, one of the four heavenly kings, and borrowed a magical item, the fireproof mantle. And yes, this is the very same item you can obtain in the game. The description of it in the game matched exactly what Wukong said when he borrowed it. Wukong used the fireproof mantle to protect their room, then used wind magic to fan the flames even higher, spreading the fire to the rest of the temple. Despite the monks' desperate attempts to put it out, the fire eventually consumed the entire temple. This scene was also depicted in the cutscene of the first chapter. The fire even caught the attention of a great Yao Guai from the nearby Blackwind Mountain, the Black Bear. The Black Bear and Elder Jinchi had been friends for a long time. Maybe this was why Elder Jinchi had lived to 270 years old and was also so wealthy. The black bear came to see if he could help, but after searching for a while, he didn't find Elder Jinchi. Instead, he spotted Tang Sanzang's precious Kasaya amidst the flames and took it. The next morning, Tang Sanzang found out what happened and went to Elder Jinchi to get the Kasaya back. After failing to put out the fire all night, Elder Jinchi returned to his ruined room only to discover the Kasaya was missing. Hearing Tang Sanzang and Wukong's voices behind him, he realized his plans had failed and that he was doomed. In despair, he smashed his head and took his own life. This explains why in the game we see Elder Jinchi with cracks and blood on his head, even after his resurrection. The rest of the story was straightforward. Wukong could not find where the black bear had hidden the stolen Kasaya, so he went to the real owner of the Guanyin Temple, Guanyin herself, and together they subdued the black bear and recovered the Kasaya. The black bear became a disciple of Guanyin and was taken to the South Sea. This set the stage for the cutscene as well, where the black bear asked Guanyin about Elder Jinchi's incident.
It still puzzles me. A monk's lust for gold should be quelled. Why does Elder Jinchi still cling to that one Kasaya?
Bereft of that Kasaya, how shall they show the world their ties are cut and their lust is quelled?
Alright, so that's the story behind the first chapter of Black Myth Wukong. The lesson here was simple. When you're traveling, do not show off your wealth as it can attract bad people. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys to understand what happened to the characters in the original Journey to the West and what they were talking about in the game. So thanks a lot for watching, my friends. This is Gray. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, enjoy the game. Peace.